What's the United Nations? The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization that aims to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation, and be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. The organization's objectives include maintaining international peace and security, protecting human rights, delivering humanitarian aid, promoting sustainable development, and upholding international law. At its founding, the United Nations had 51 member states, with the addition of South Sudan in 2011. Memberships is now 193, representing almost all of the world's sovereign states.
It is the largest, most familiar, most internationally represented, and most powerful intergovernmental organization in the world.
And in the summer of 1919, on January 25, 1919, the League of Nations and in February 1919, the League of Nations held its first meeting in Paris.
The text of the declaration by United Nations was drafted at the White House on 29 December 1941.
President Roosevelt, Prime Minister Churchill, Maxim Lipton, and TV Song of China signed a short document which later came to be known as the United Nations Declarations. The term United Nations was first officially used when 26 governments signed these declarations. The United Nations was established after World War II with the aim of preventing future wars, succeeding the ineffective League of Nations. On 25 April 1945, 50 governments met in San Francisco for a conference and started drafting the United Nations Charter, which was adopted on 25 June 1945 and took effect on 24 October 1945, when the United Nations began operations.
The United Nations had the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, ECOSLC, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the United Nations Secretariat. The United Nations system includes multiple specialist agencies, such as the World Bank Group, the World Health Organization, the World Food Programme, UNESCO, and UNICEF.
The Assembly is led by a president elected from among the member states on a rotating regional basis and 21 vice presidents. The United Nations Chief Administrative Officer is the Secretary General, currently Portuguese politician and diplomat Antonio Guterres, who began his 5-year term on 1st January 2017.
The United Nations, its officers and its agencies have won many Nobel Peace Prizes, though other evaluations of its effectiveness have been mixed. Some commentators believe the organization to be an important force for peace and human development, while others have called it ineffective, beside, and corrupt.
The United Nations is headquartered on international territory in New York City, with its other main offices in Geneva, Nairobi, Vienna, and The Hague. 24 October has been celebrated as United Nations Day since 1948.